This is how to put a button to push start on a 97 Jeep Cherokee Sport. I'm pretty sure it worked for a Grand Cherokee. It probably worked for a Wrangler. They're all rather similar. This is our little surf safari vehicle. My wife and I live in central Mexico, about 3 hours from the coast, and we go surfing about once a month. So it's imperative this thing works, you know, because we usually pick the shadiest looking jungle road and we follow it down to the beach where nobody gets to. So it's not fun breaking down in places like that. I don't really care what part of the world you're in. This probably sucks in all places, but definitely no one happening in Mexico. It's a two-wheel drive. I bought that on purpose. I didn't want a four-wheel drive vehicle. I figured a vehicle this old would have probably been flooded 3 or 4 times if it was a four-wheel drive and have electrical problems. So I bought this off an old lady who had in the garage for about 10 years, never been flooded. I don't have a whole lot of electrical issues. I really don't. I just, like my wife says, you drive it like you stole it. That's why things give out every now and then. But there's a lot of people gonna tell me, you know, you need a four-wheel drive, it's not a Jeep. There's a lot of people gonna tell me Jeeps are for girls. There's a lot of people gonna tell me it's your wife's call, you know. I'm gonna tell you the truth. All I did on this thing, I put a 3-inch body lift. I bought some racing spacers for it, which kicked out my tires 2.5 inches. So it's a 5-inch, you know, expansion on all 4. But to be honest with you, this thing has such a short wheelbase, and it has an amazing Toyota transmission. It is unstoppable. I have yet to get stuck in this vehicle since I bought it, and I spent most of once a month I take it to the shadiest, muddiest, hilly, rocky places to get to. I'm not saying I'm a rock crawler by any means. If you're into the whole rock crawling and all that, and you want to do all that kind of stuff, I'm sure you do need a 4-wheel drive. But for what I use it, it's solid. As a matter of fact, I've owned full-size Bronco jacked up with 4-wheel drive. I lived in Alaska and I actually owned a 1991 Suburban 3/4 ton. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those. They're pretty much a H1 Hummer with a Chevy shell. It's the same transmission, same engine, same axle, same everything. It was actually a rescue vehicle for the Alyeska Ski Lodge. And I'll be honest with you, this thing will give both of those vehicles run for their money on half of the gas and probably get you there because they're so light. I'm amazed by them. When I bought it, I just kind of wanted something to get me to the beach and back with a surfboard on top. But the more I started using it, the more I take it to backwoods, back roads, back everything, muddy. It won't stop. It won't stop. It's like I said, it's that Toyota transmission that put on this thing that makes them rather solid. Back to the whole topic, right? Basically, what I did was relay my mechanism to where my car will start with that button. It's a relay because I left everything the same. Run you through it really quick. This is called an actuator. You can tell this one's broken right here. This is what it looks like when it's mounted. This connects your cylinder to your electrical system. I don't know why they make it so flimsy, but it's broken on me 2 times since I bought the truck. It always breaks in the worst spot where you don't want it to break, and you know, it's just a pain in the butt. So there's the third one I bought. Like I said, it's a rather simple part, so about $20. I'm a dentist. I don't know anything about mechanics. I just like working on cars. So basically, this is already fully built, ready to go. I'm just gonna give you a demonstration. This turns my key on. My key is on now. My dash turns on. Everything works. And that last quarter turn you give it, on my phone, this is what starts your car. So when you turn off, you're back in the on position. You're back into the off mode, right? So I'm assuming it's that last quarter turn which gives this piece torque this tip torque, and this one's already given out. We're taking off this weekend. I didn't want to have any problems, that's why I swapped it out. But it has a small hairline crack. It's got a tiny little hairline crack, and it won't make that last contact. It'll start like that. It'll probably be like that for about a week, and then eventually they break all the way, or they don't break, but either way you won't be able to start your car. So to avoid all that, I'm installing a push start button to where I don't have to turn that last quarter key, and I can quit breaking that part, right? What I used was this low volt 3 amp button. When I bought my car, it didn't have a horn. Well, the horn didn't work, and I ended up fixing that, so I had it capped off. So all I did was tap into it. This is a 3 amp button, so you don't need a lot. I actually tested the system. It picks up 0.2, like 0.2 when you start the key. So a 3 amp is more than enough. So like you can tell, the button won't work when your car's off. So if you go to your on position, again, gauges are on, everything's on, then the button works. And you turn it off normal with your key. If your car is in the off position, the button won't work. And just to show you how I didn't modify anything factory, if you go to your auxiliary function, your radio turns on, but your button won't work. I tapped into the blue wire, which is a 12 volt wire, which is only on when the key is on, and I tapped into the yellow wire, which is the one that relays for your starter. There's plenty of ways to do a push start button. I didn't want to complicate myself too much. Honestly, this thing's already wired up. They already have it relayed. They already have a fuse. All I did is make that last connection between those two wires. And that's pretty much what is going on. That button was already there when I bought my truck. When I bought my truck, I didn't have a horn. I eventually fixed my horn, and I capped it off, so it was already there, just dead. So I just tapped into it. But like I said, it is not a fancy button with a relay or with anything else, and you don't really need it. Safety concerns, yes, if you are the unsafe kind of person who likes to drive with your kid on your lap and your kid's going to be pushing that button while you're going, or you just like pushing buttons while you're going, I guess I could see how that would, you know, become a concern with your starter giving out. But if you don't have any dumb practices like that, then it's not really a concern. You know, if you like to, you can put a little cover to where you can keep it from pressing. Really quick also, like I mentioned, my horn didn't work. That's why they wired that in. It actually ended up being this guy. This is called your spring clock. You can buy this on eBay for like 50 bucks. This controls your cruise control, your airbags, and your horn. So if your airbag light's on and you don't have a horn and you don't have a cruise control, swap this out. Again, it's like 30 minutes to swap it out, and it's rather nice to be going down the highway with cruise control and having a working horn. I'm not sure about how other people feel about that, but I personally like it. So I hope it helped. Like I said, no fuses. I don't really think it's required. Again, I'm a dentist, I'm not a mechanic. Don't really know how this would affect me in the long run, but using logical thinking, all I'm doing is the same function this thing does. It connects, it makes 2 points touch, and if you can tell, they're the very last 2 points, as a matter of fact. All I did is to where you touch it manually. Hope it helps.